From America to Australia and everywhere in between, we bring you inspiring, informative interviews with accomplished South Asian diaspora spanning every field and walk of life. Welcome to the Desi Buzz Talk Show with your host, Dr. Shabana Parvez. Welcome to the Desi Buzz Talk Show. I'm your host, Dr. Shabana Parvez. With me today, I have Dr. Gayatri Narasimhan. She is a visionary educator with more than 15 years of experience empowering neurodivergent individuals through free skill-based training. She is the founder and director of Prakramika Vocational Institute, which has been positioned to address the lack of vocational training for neurodivergent individuals. She has been recognized by the United Nations as a pioneer on inclusive education. Her programs have transformed lives across India, Oman, the United Arab Emirates, and the USA. As an author and a global trainer, she champions inclusion through innovative faculty development programs and partnerships, creating opportunities for holistic growth and independence. Welcome, Dr. Gayatri. So nice to be with you.
Same here. Thank you so much for the invite.
Yes, definitely. We want to hear more about, start us off with telling us a little bit about your background and your early career.
That would be really nice. Actually, I'm from a software background, and I had done my journalism and much more into the management side, and never into this teaching profession nor into the neurodivergent side. So all this happened some 15 years back when we came to Oman and we met a girl with autism. So that was a turning point in my life because I couldn't teach that girl. I couldn't teach the basic ninth grade social economics for her. But so that made me venture into this. I volunteered in many organizations. Then I did my MSc Psychology, then my doctorate in education with special education as my topic. Basically the framework in special education. So I worked in inclusive schools and vocational centers. So the journey was very nice with a lot of challenges, of course, but the learning was amazing.
I bet. So this was the turning point then when you met that girl with autism that you had to pivot and say, how do I give her the best chance at education? That's really good because it's the personal story. Can you share a little bit more about a personal story then that kind of, experience that really solidified your commitment to inclusive education? Oh.
Sure. So it was like of course, yes, I started off with volunteering, and then I started working with after doing couple of qualification because I knew just volunteering would not be sufficient to handle or to educate a child with neurodivergence. We need the specialized skills. Yes, I had to agree to that. So that is when I explored a lot of avenues. I went travel to places also. I did a lot of courses. So what happened was whenever I had a challenge, so I used to go again, I have to learn and come. So when I was teaching a boy with dyslexia, so I found a lot of challenges in the handwriting. So I did my handwriting specialization. Then I had encountered certain behavioral issues with my students. So I did my behavioral as therapy. And then I encountered certain physical level challenges, and so that is when I did my sensory therapies and brain gym and yoga as therapy. So actually much more, and it was like I encounter a challenge, then I go learn, come and help my child, because helping the child was my one and only goal. And that too, I found out it has to be really holistic, 360 degrees, not just the academics. So that was the journey. And then I saw success in my students. So that gave me the encouragement, push to do more, to learn more. And then the journey is
That's
continuing.
beautiful. So it's just your dedication to just keeping in the front of your mind, you want your student to succeed and whatever it takes. And then every single uh, obstacle, challenge, every single situation that each student presented to you, you went ahead to learn how to deal with that situation. And then so you became more well-rounded in dealing with all aspects. Um,
One more point I wish to share this. When I was doing my teacher assistant, that is when my professor, she told, so Gayatri, you are doing this course. I'm so happy with that. But remember, you have to help at least one child. That is the give back to this particular coaching. So actually, I started off there. So
Start with
uh,
one and then just keep going.
just yeah, my professor said only one child you help in your life, that's more than enough for us. So with that mindset, I that was when I came to Muscat also, yeah, and I started working in an inclusive school. But that one child, I just as a promise I started, but then the journey is continued till now. I'm not able to leave also.
Yeah, so it does get you feed on that. Every child's improvement and accomplishment motivates you to go more. So the next child and the next child, one
Next
child
child,
at a
yes,
time. That's
very
beautiful.
true.
Yeah. So now you then went on, like we mentioned, you are the founder of Prakramika Vocational Institute. Um, and so what inspired you to establish this institute?
Basically the gaps. So I had worked in inclusive education with the regular academics. I was handling children from grade 6 to grade 12. This was one side, and the other side I was handling even vocational training for the non-academic children, basic who cannot come into the academic side, the regular side. So I was handling even the non-academic side. But then I found that there was a gap. What to say? Um, Children were caught in between. There were some segment, there were a bunch of children who could not get into the regular academic that race, I would say, that pressure, like professional degrees. They could not go to it.
Mhm,
Neither I could classify them as non-academic because they had already done their 10th and 12th. So
mhm,
these were the students who were caught in between, not knowing what to do. So that was actually in my mind. So this was one side. Another side was when I was doing my vocational training, when I was giving this vocational training to the special needs, my daughter asked me this question. Mama, when I finish my 12th, I'm going to go graduate. I'm going to do my post graduation. Then I'll start working. So that's going to be my career pathway. Then what about children with special needs? So
mm,
where are they going to go? What is their career? What is their future? So that gave me the spark. So what now? What they have to do now? So that is
mhm,
when I thought they should have a career of their own. And of course, this was also there, this gap also I had figured out. So I started, okay, let us have a vocational center so that we empower them and we give them some job oriented training
mhm,
program. So we started it in 2015 as a social enterprise. I first registered, but then later I registered in 2021 as a institute, as a proper
mhm.
institute. And 2021, we actually kicked off the training programs in
That's
full
incredible.
fledged.
You offer 22 or more skill-based training modules, and you do this for free. How do you sustain this model while still giving like good quality education?
Um, Again, that was a beautiful learning journey only, I should say. Like we started off in 2021 during the pandemic. So as I had mentioned, I had this students who were in that gap in my mind, what to do, how to help them out. So then when pandemic hit, there were a couple of NGOs who approached me and they said, Gayatri ma'am, we are really struggling with our children. So we don't know what to do. They are denied of education, deprived of education now, being at home. So we are really not able to help them at all. So then I thought, okay, why not start this? So the first in 2021, I launched my first skill-based program, front office management, with just 14 students, because even I was equally skeptical how I could teach online. Being a very, very conventional
Mhm,
teacher, trust me, I don't use even a whiteboard or a whiteboard marker because I believe in the sensory learning. So I
mhm,
prefer a blackboard and a chalk because
mhm.
that sensory is something very important for students learning, at
Yes,
least for neurodivergent. So
definitely.
being that type of a teacher, how to do it in online was my biggest question. To my surprise, it was super successful. And out of 14 students, 8 of them got a job also. They were placed. So that gave me the
That's very
encouragement.
satisfying.
From
Mhm.
one, we went to five to short-term courses, and then we went to 1 year program, then 2 year program. Currently, this year we have around 30. We have launched few more courses. So we have
Mhm.
around 30 courses. Everything is offered for free. They can pick up whatever they want. They can get, and of course, we are there to guide them also what would suit them. We have assessment, everything. Now, coming to the sustainability, of course, it is an online, so I don't need to have an establishment. This skill development courses are online. We don't, but we, having said, we do pay our teachers, of course, but that's our own personal money.
Mhm.
It's our family's personal savings money. We
Mhm.
pump in every year around 10 lakhs rupees, Indian rupees we pump in, and this is how we are going. And we have a very, very strong code of conduct,
Mhm.
very, very strong code of conduct. So this is how the classes has to go. So it is just typical like any other physical classroom. We have a prayer, secular prayer, and have a meditation, and the children come on dot with the class, and they finish on dot. And that learning is something amazing. So we have
Amazing.
that proper structure in place.
So as you mentioned, one of the challenges initially in terms of how do you go from the sensory physical classroom setting to online, what other challenges did you face when you're expanding your institute to Oman, the other parts of the Emirates as well as the USA?
So Oman, since I'm staying here, I go for physical classes here. It's not online, so it is more physical only we have here. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
India and US and UAE, it is online based, but challenges as such, I didn't face much of challenges because be it Oman or even in US, people were welcoming. They understood the value of our courses, and because we gave the demo, we explained to them.
Mm-hmm.
So basically they're all welcoming and very, very encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly now when I'm staying in Oman, this place, very friendly and very, very encouraging. And we have community support also. We have support even from the companies who are funding the other logistics here. So it is going successfully. But if I have to say one challenge is for US, I have a challenge because though the training program is free, and the whole year program, everything is free, but there is a small amount of uh, uh, expenditure involved in the assessment. So I have to go there and do the assessment, then come back. So
Mm.
in that way, my travel expenses becomes a hiccup, but even that we are managing and it is going.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So your dedication to just making it work seems to be, it's really coming through as you speak about this. Um, your project, you have another project called Unifying Pathways, One School, Many Abilities. So this is inspired by the system, the Indian Gurukul system. Tell us a little bit about how this model promotes true inclusivity.
Thank you so much. This is such a dear to me. This project is such a dear to me because, again, I have to go back to my vocational training days. So when I was teaching one particular child with autism, and so I had done around 4 to 5 years of training with him, and he was pretty good in his work. But during the pandemic, father lost his job, and they had to go back to India. So that is when, when he went back, he and his brother, both of them went back to India. The brother seemed it was a very easy. He just joined the next grade and he continued his studies. There was no break and everything was smooth. But this boy, being in a special school, so he had a huge setback because uh, the special school on the other end didn't know what the amount of education or the training that had gone. There was no measurement of this curriculum. There was no
Mm.
measurement of the training. So he had to restart almost right from the scratch.
Mm.
So that was disheartening from for us, and we felt very bad. So that is when we thought there should be a curriculum even for special schools, like any regular school. Even the special schools should have a curriculum, and even the transfer or handing over should be smooth. The transition need to be smooth. So that is when I wrote my first book, Invas. So Invas is about the 13 component curriculum for the special needs. So
Mm-hmm.
it helps them holistically and with measurement. So when a student is crossing the 8, so I will know how much he has done, where I have to put more effort. So it is measured. Everything is measured over there. So,
Nice.
but that alone was not enough. Just that curriculum was not enough, because one of the educators, senior educators, she told me, aren't you excluding them totally by giving them a separate curriculum? You are actually doing exclusion. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a thought-provoking idea, and then I came back. I thought I just it was brainstorming ideas. Then I thought, why don't we merge both regular schools and special schools? So that is when I came through this Gurukul system, the ancient Indian system. So where there is no discrimination over there. So every child is a learner and the teacher is a trainer. That's it. So how we work on the strength, what we do to the child, it's different. Each child is different, but they all learn together.
Nice, yeah, differentiated
So
learning.
exactly. So that is what is the thing of unifying pathways, one school and many abilities.
Um,
So school is just an institution, and any student, irrespective of whatever label, they are learners. That's all. So
mm,
how to learn, how to be incorporated in one school. So unifying pathways is my third book, I should say, where I have mentioned the complete framework of merging both the schools. So it's going to be beneficial in many, many ways.
mhm,
Many, many ways.
mhm.
So
That's
for the students, even for the neurotypical work, studying along with the neurodivergent, the empathetic part of it, and later when the neurotypical are going to work at a workplace, so the neurodivergent inclusion at workplace will also be very, very smooth and easy, because the students are already trained in this. So
yeah.
it unifying pathways has a lot of potential to make this world inclusive, but a long way to go.
Yes. Well, that's you're off to a really good start. So tell us about the multiple intelligences theory in your curriculum. Is this similar to what you're saying, the VAKT method, the VAKT duct method, and the multiple intelligences theory? How do you think that, how is this helping neurodivergent students learn better?
This I should say, when I was working in an inclusive school, a girl with ADHD, in fact, just before the board exam, I had joined that school um, to work over there. And this girl she had got scored around 3 marks out of 80, just 3 marks out of 80. And the board exam was just, the main exam was just 2 months away. So the school was just thinking whether to permit her to write the board exam or to give a second thought. And it was a pressure on the girl also. So that was when the girl came to me and they found out she had ADHD.
Mhm.
And so we started off with this method of teaching, the VAKT method and her I did both the assessment. So I knew what type of a learner she was, and in both ways. And we targeted her academics through these two methods. I was not a commerce student because the girl was a commerce based BCom. Commerce group she had taken. So accountancy and commerce and economics were her subject, math. So I was not in the commerce background, but I worked through one of the teacher to help that girl complete her 12th. So just 2 months of this type of learning. So this using the VAKT method and the multiple intelligence method, giving her the space to learn, she scored a complete 100 on the exam. And she was a
That's
CBSE
incredible success story. Oh my goodness. I'm sure that's
complete.
in two
And when she
months
had
turnaround.
just just
Wow.
in 2 months, and for her to go up on the stage to collect the award, she was literally trembling. She was telling Gayatri ma'am, I'm getting so scared, you also come with me. I said, no, you go, you
Hmm.
deserve it for the hard work. So
That's
this actually helps to be more specific. In fact, I had trained my co-teachers with this, how to teach in the regular class itself. It is not about the neurodivergent, even the neurotypical, all of us are different type of learners.
Yes,
For
yes.
me, if you see as Gayatri, I am very much into visual and tactile. For me, I have to write down everything. The
Hmm.
more I write, the more I'm going to learn. So this is my type of learning. So like that, everyone has their own potential. So
Hmm.
if the teacher is able to take the concept under this VAKT method, for sure the whole class is going to benefit and the school's percentage will definitely go up. And this was also proved in the school where I worked.
Right. What role does vocational training play in with the helping the neurodivergent individuals gain independence and employment?
Vocational training is a gap. It bridges the gap between the education and the employment. Basically, that is the thing. It's either
Hmm.
it's neurodivergent or neurotypical. Practical training helps the bridge the gap between the actual education and the job. More so
Hmm.
for the neurodivergent, it is very helpful because they are excellent in practical more than theory. So I asked them to memorize a theory or to write down the pages of answers. It might be difficult for them, but
Hmm.
I teach them a concept how to do that. How is very easy for them. I teach them how to do. They can easily do. So that is when vocational training comes. So we do have an assessment tool for that, which I have developed and I released it in some 2018. The assessment tool on which vocation will be best for which type of a child.
Oh, that is
So,
really helpful. Yeah. Yeah.
and we do train the teachers also to use that vocational assessment tool so that they can identify the vocations and start off with the training. Again, the training, it is a 13 component training, as I
Hmm.
mentioned, not just vocation. So it
Mm.
can be a block printing, but not just block printing. We work on communication, we work on mathematics, we work on self-advocacy, safety, like that. We have around 13 components around that vocation. So the child gets
So it is more
holistic.
holistic. Yes. Exactly.
Exactly.
This is how I'm assuming, because my next question, I think you already answered it mostly, is how you prepare the neurodivergent students, not just for the vocational training itself, but the real world challenges and maybe taking on leadership roles. How do you prepare them for that? Is this part of like your
This
holistic approach?
Yes, this 14
Components.
13 curriculum is there. 13 component curriculum we have developed. Apart from that, what we do to be more specific to that particular question, how we teach them is through role plays. We demonstrate and show them through role plays, and we have a lot of group activities. When it comes to group activities, we teach them the leadership roles because every activity one person has to be a leader. So they have to even write the minutes of the meeting. So who attended the meeting, who attended the practice, what happened in the practice. So this gives them the leadership and the team building. And we have time management because they have to present something. We give them the time, so 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So we teach them how to do the time management.
These are
And
all
then
really skills.
empathy.
Mm.
Empathy is something very important because they learn how the other person is in the team, so they help each other, and that's actually very beautiful. So when they come out of our curriculum, particularly they are able to do the 2-year program and they come out, they are excellent. We even give them anchoring job, public speaking. So we train
Mhm.
them in every possible way. We don't leave even one stone unturned.
Yeah. You mentioned the girl with the ADHD who did so well, 100% on her grades. And you have also apparently helped a student with Down syndrome start their own business. What kind of factors you think contributed to the successes like this?
Planning, a structured planning. So what they are, how they are. That is what first we go into the assessment. So
Mhm.
we just analyze them totally. So we build on their strength. We don't touch their I won't say weakness, their needs.
Mhm.
We try not to touch their needs, but rather build on their strength to help them achieve.
Mhm.
So, and we treat each child a different learner. So, for me, one child is different, the other child is different. Even
Mhm.
in my skill development, I may have 10 students in the class, but the output, what I'm going to see from each one will be entirely different. And I compare that person with that person only, not with others. So in
Mhm.
that way, and even we teach the teaching methodologies changes from person to person. We give them space to express their views. So if they're not able to understand, They're free enough to come and discuss with us.
Hmm.
So those are the things actually it makes the difference in their learning rather
And with
than having the stereotype.
Yes. With all of this amazing work they've done, you have actually been recognized globally from the United Nations, the Indian Prime Minister, and other global organizations. What does the recognition mean for you?
For any student, I would say giving a pat on the back, they just feel good. Or, having a star on the hand, they'll get
Right.
that gives the motivation to do further. And same goes with the TV teachers also. So
Hmm.
such appreciation really gives us the encouragement that we are on the right path and we are going in the right direction and we should proceed further, no looking back. So
Yeah.
that definitely gives that encouragement, and such recognitions also help us in reach more and more people. So PBI's mission is we want to, irrespective of the gender or the nation or the religion or the whatever it is, uh, absolutely nothing has to stop our mission in reaching to every corner of the world. Every child needs the education, be it
Mhm.
anyone. So these recognitions help us reach globally. Of course, I have to
Help you
agree.
get more, yeah, help you have awareness of your institute to be spread more globally, and therefore you're able to help more people. Yeah, this is
Very true.
you were shortlisted also for the 2025 Global Teacher Prize. That achievement that felt like how does that feel to you for the field of special education? Like, um,
That was an amazing experience. And the last 3 days, I was in Dubai attending those events and meeting those lovely educators across world was beautiful. And Global Teacher Prize teams, the VAKT Foundation, the respect they showed on every teacher made us feel, wow, we are teachers. So proud we felt. But
mhm,
why I applied for that award was I applied and I was enthusiastic also in getting the award because of the prize money, which is $1 million. $1 million is not a small amount. So why I wanted that amount is we have colleges, we have universities for neurotypical, right? But for special needs, there are no colleges. You don't have a dedicated or college committed for their education. So,
mhm,
having developed so much of curriculums and so many courses, the modules, now my dream is to have an establishment, to have an institute dedicated only for the neurodivergent, the special needs. Of course,
mhm,
our online will continue to reach people, but I want to have a physical establishment because in case they want to come be with us and learn, they should have that facility. And it should be welcoming with whatever they want. And
right.
putting in quotes, it should be free for them. Education should be free. It cannot be on commercial. It is not at all a business. So
Mhm.
having this in mind was my motivation to apply for this. But of course, there were so many awesome people working in superb ways. So for me, it's a long journey
But
to
still,
achieve that.
that's part of your future plan, though, is to for PVI for your institute to be a physical institution of learning for everybody that's open. That's a beautiful vision, and I'm sure you will attain it with
Thank
time.
you so much.
Yeah, you also talk about not just vocation, but you also talk about climate change education. You incorporate that into your curriculum, and even as an SDG ambassador, which is like the Sustainable Development Goals from the UN. How do you connect that with your special education? How do you bring that in?
It is bridged, it is merged along with the curriculum, be it the sustainability, be it the climate change, because that is something very important at this particular point when all of us are going through those challenges. And the ethics, values, all these are inbuilt in our curriculum. So it is not a separate project. For example, we just had our Republic Day celebration on Jan 26th. And the project given for one particular segment of student was to plant trees, saplings. So they have to go to places and plant saplings. So, and they have to take a video and they have to send it to us. And that was compiled and the message was shared with everyone.
Hmm.
Similarly, we have our designing students who design the posters regarding the climate, global warming, and what we have to do, the awareness. including the COVID, during the COVID time, the posters, those awareness. So all these are inbuilt in our curriculum. There is nothing separate. So this goes a
Mhm.
part of our curriculum always.
Part of the life. So you are doing this all a lot on your own as an individual and your family. What do you think that governments and policymakers need to do? What steps do they need to do to create better educational opportunities for neurodivergent individuals?
I would say the three. The one is the unifying pathways. If they could take up and bring it under their policy, that will have a greater impact than me speaking about it alone as a
Mhm.
single voice. So
Mhm.
coming from the government would be the best because merging both the schools that brings the actual inclusion. So
Mhm.
we are reaching out to the government, also Indian government. We are trying to reach out to them to request for this particular merger. And the second important thing which I would really appreciate if the government can intervene is they have a percentage of course, this is there in other countries also. They have a percentage of employment to be given to the PWD, that is people with disability. So
Mhm.
what happens is when it is generalized as PWD, the job goes only for the physical challenges.
Physically disabled, yes.
Yes.
Physically.
So I agree, as they also deserve. And yes, they need the support. They also go through a lot of challenges. So, but what I request the government is whatever percentage they're giving for the physical disability, they must give the same percentage for the neurodivergent also,
That
as
is really
separately.
good.
Because otherwise, what happens, the corporates don't consider the neurodivergent. If you are giving it general, they take only this, they discard the neurodivergent.
Mhm.
So if that comes, I would be very, very happy. And
Love you.
let's
Dream
be
come true for
hopeful.
you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. So tell me, what advice would you give to parents of neurodivergent children who are struggling to find the right support?
Seek, seek help. They have to seek help, one. And the second thing, they have to have the trust on their child. Yes, they will achieve. Everybody is born to achieve. I'm not just telling it for the sake of a statement, but
Mhm.
in my experience of this 15 years, frankly, I would say I have not seen even a one failure with my students. Not even one child has failed academically or career-wise growth.
Mhm.
So when I could see the 100% result, they must see 100% from their own child. So only
Mhm.
thing is what I feel is they should not compete with the regular outside world. I really
Mhm.
request the parents, please don't compete with the outside world and say why my child is not able to go there. Just
Mhm.
see the potential of your child, focus on that alone, nurture that potential, sure is going to come up. It can be a music, it can be an art, it can be anything, not required that we have to go through the conventional education system like sixth grade, 10th, 12th, college, not required. So anybody can succeed if they nurture their talent. So this
Mhm.
is what I request the parents, and seek help. That's all. Don't just be in your shell.
What do other people, how can other people build a more inclusive world, like corporations, other educators, and generally society at large? How can we contribute to building a more inclusive world for, especially for neurodivergent people?
Society as a large, I would like to start from there because our next project, what we are going to do is we want to target the universities, the college students regarding the awareness on how they have to support neurodivergent in case they encounter anyone during their study days or even the workplace. So what they should do, what they shouldn't do. So we wish to train and bring that awareness program from the start, from the college students, because young generation, that matters the most for us. This is
Yeah.
one. Of course, corporate should come forward, and when I say parents to seek help, I request even the corporates also to seek help from institutions like us to help them build an inclusive workplace, because we have a framework even for that. We
You do
have a
have that
training,
framework.
yes, we have a training program for that as well. And we give training for the corporates to build the inclusive workplace with everything with documentation, not
Mhm.
just theoretical. Everything is documented in paper. So they can seek our help, because neurodivergent are excellent in the area wherever they are talented. They are
Mhm.
unbeatable, and corporates should use such talents. So
Mm.
this is what is my request.
Very good. As a physician, I just have a quick question. What a lot of the students that you're working with, are they on medications, or have you had any experiences where, because of the way they've been trained and, nurtured in institutions like yours, that they're successful without needing to rely on medications for anything like, especially ADHD, for example. Have you had any stories like that where, you know, they've been able to get off of medicines or not need them?
It has reduced considerably. I would not say that they had to quit the medication. That has not happened till now, but it has reduced considerably, and because we are seeing the success. So
Okay.
when how this work, the medication is very important to bring their to increase their attention span. Agreed. But once they are able to focus, once they are able to see the success pathway, so this automatically it reduces. We have seen that because they know what to do, they know
Right.
how to do, and we teach them also. Because we have our sensory, we have our reflexology, and we do with yoga as therapy. I help them. So when we focus in those areas, this automatically it comes down.
That's wonderful.
This
Yeah,
I've
so that,
seen.
that's a holistic way of looking at it too, and not just medications and not just structured education. It's combining everything. Um, and what is the secret to your success? Your personal, what drives you? What is the secret to your success so far? What do you say?
That's a lovely question. My success is I love challenges. I just love challenges because, to give an example, one of my friends said, Gayatri, you are not so tall. So I don't, because I saw someone riding bike. I said, wow, such beautiful bikes they are riding. So he told me, no, no, you are not so tall. So don't think of even going near that. You can't touch it. So heavy also. So that gave me a challenge. So it is like for me, it's not
To
that I
thrive
can't
on
do
challenge,
something.
to
I
thrive on
did.
overcoming.
Yes, I did. I learned. I did advanced driving in biking, and in fact, I could even lift a 200 kg bike from the ground. So we were taught all those techniques in that. So
Incredible.
at
So
and
yeah,
at
you
this
just like
age, I learned my horse riding also. So it is not. I love challenges. Any challenge I love.
and you have overcome
Coming
all of them so far. It's incredible.
Coming here, the neurodivergent are the biggest challenge. The people say, not according to me, but it is like institutions. They feel this is the biggest challenge: how to teach, what to teach. So that I just love taking up that as a challenge. So whoever is thrown out, I would like to take them and make them an achiever. So I love the challenges.
That's incredible. And so tell me, what's the final message you have for aspiring teachers and advocates in this field of special education?
Don't say no to any child, because every child, every person is a human, and there is a life in it, and they have ambition in them hidden. So if a teacher taps the right way, I'm sure the child is going to succeed for sure. There is no looking back for the
Never
child.
say no to any child.
Never
That's a
said.
beautiful message. Thank you so much. Your passion and your work is it's incredible. It's so inspiring, and I'm hoping that we will be able to tell more people about your institute and that it grows. And I wish you all the best. It was been very nice talking to you, and I know there are gonna be more successes ahead for you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
so much.
so much. And a big namaste from we. Thank you. Thanks a lot.